Hello everyone, Mike the MC, bringing you the self-care video. Today I'm going to share with you number 269 of the Catechism with respect to God's mighty power, but more with respect to whatever He pleases to do. What does God want to do? And you and I have to recognize in this moment that His power is so amazing that we cannot alter His power. We can ask for help, but you see, it is through humility and a genuine prayer of hope that maybe our prayer may be answered when He reads our hearts and our true intent. And maybe the struggles we face in life are meant to be, so that way our hearts grow even further to understand a greater thing in life. But before I go further, let me show you the number 269 from the in brief section about God. So here we go. He does whatever He pleases, and 269 states the following. The Holy Scriptures repeatedly confess the universal power of God. He is called the Mighty One of Jacob, the Lord of Hosts, the Strong and Mighty One. If God is almighty in heaven and on earth, it is because He made them. Nothing is impossible with God, who disposes His works according to His will. He is the Lord of the universe, whose order He established and which remains wholly subject to Him and at His disposal. He is master of history, governing hearts and events in keeping with His will. It is always in your power to show great strength, and who can withstand the strength of your arm? That's a powerful line to end that. Who can withstand God's will when He's going to command you and I to do a great act of work in this world in reality, where you and I have to play the role of hero? Or maybe this is even harder to some degree. How many of us don't have to be the hero? Let somebody else play that role. Will your pride allow somebody else to play the role of hero? That's a big question. And I think many of us would fail in that regard, because we just see so many people want to take the fame, the glory, on television and media, in personal life, etc. Being the number one superstar, A+ student, the 5-star recruit, the Heisman Trophy winner, MVP, etc. You think, oh my gosh, why would I want to give up the trophy to somebody else who I don't think has that right to be up there? That's the thing. That's your mind, your opinion of somebody. And God reads all opinions, all minds. That is the thing about God that makes Him so objective, where His almighty power, He does whatever He pleases, is so objective that it comes back to being a subjective role for Him. See, both of those are happening for Him. And the thing is, if you have a prayer that you're trying to share with the Lord, saying, I need help right now to pass this exam. I need a prayer right now to be answered because I am just struggling to find money, to not be poor anymore, to find a good job, a girlfriend, a wife, a husband, etc., for my kids to heal, to not die, to not suffer, to not go through these horrible things. I have a prayer in need. Would you answer it, Lord? But those hard moments when it's not answered from a prayer, that is where the true test comes down to you. Are you going to give into despair? Or are you going to have hope and believe that your prayer is answered in the next life to come? Those are the hard questions to answer. And those are the ones that you and I have to be ready to face when the time comes. When the time comes for us to face a real question, a real situation, a real moment of accepting that you and I are going to struggle in a world that wants to just beat us down every single day. And when we are stuck underneath the pressure, pinned down by our own jealousy, our own hatred, how are we going to set ourselves free? It is through the power of God that His will can, whatever He pleases to do, can lift up the pressure from us to set ourselves free. But God, it's His will that is granted as well. Now someone will say, oh, is that the determinism? Is that ultimate reality? Is that your fate, your destiny, etc.? I would argue that there's more to those kind of definitions in this sense. Not trying to escape it, but just saying to you all that you can have an answer, but God's answers are always the one that trumps all of ours. And so when you and I have an opinion, and when our prayer is answered for the greater need at that time, just think about this. It was His will that He wants things to happen as well. So good things can happen to you and I, but we have to accept that there will be bad moments in life too. And it's not a reason for you or an excuse to go and attack any other person, to be angry, but to be at peace and to say, hey, I'm suffering right now, but I think this is going to have to be because your will be done, and I trust you. in this world, this earth and reality. I trust you right now, Lord, so let it be as it must go. And that is real faith right there, put to the test. And when you allow yourself to trust in God in that faith, trusting in His infinite mercy, something can happen for you that is good. And a miracle that was not expected can take the role of what you were hoping to fill in the void of your heart. Things to consider, and I hope you are open to that love. Alright everyone, I hope this one finds you well today with number 269 of the Catechism. Just remember that God has the miracles, but you cannot control the miracles themselves. Be surprised by the love of God, and maybe you will come to see that there is something greater in this world and reality that puts everything together in its place. Alright everyone, hope this video finds you well. Take care, have a good one.